I'm about to do a video that I have dreaded since I started my channel. That is the ranking of my favorite James Bond actors from worst to best. I've feared doing this video because people get so angry with other people's tastes on a lot of these matters. The reactions I will get, I know, will be in the lines of me telling someone how ugly their baby is compared to someone else. But when I say worst, that does not mean I don't like any of the actors. I actually like them all. But you know what? We all love pizza. Yet we have different preferences of the exact type of pizza that we like. So here is my ranking from least to most preferred actors for the role of James Bond. This will not include any movies outside of the mainstream Bond movies, so that leaves us with 6 actors: Connery, Moore, Lazenby, Dalton, Brosnan, Craig. And by the time I have enough information to include the next and new James Bond in this ranking, well, I might not even be alive by then. So this should be a fairly short video, right? Well, we'll see. At number 6 is George Lazenby. We only have one movie from George to throw into the mix, On Her Majesty's Secret Service. But what a single outing. For many, it's a top 5 favorite in the Bond franchise. But for me, the acting ability was not as high as all the other actors. In fact, at times, I would almost think maybe he had Botox done, because there were many times where the voice inflections, they didn't match the face movements. His face oftentimes would stay fairly still. Looks of surprise or anger all had the same blank look. Now I realize he is not or was not a trained actor at the time, but imagine if he had been. Probably would have been further up the list, and off of just one movie that he did in Bond. Hey, I love George, so it's very hard to put him at number 6. But, I'm trying to keep myself honest here. At number 5, Daniel Craig. Holy cow, I just lost half my viewers right there. Casino Royale is my favorite Bond movie. I love the swagger, the blunt instrument, the serious Bond that Daniel gives us in that movie. But then it kind of went away. We started down a path of brooding, in and out of retirements, getting too old for this, and right into baby daddy Bond, right down to full completion of let's kill him off because we're tired of playing him. Where Daniel truly fell down in my rankings was from this interview right here, where he stated that from the start he wanted to kill off Bond.
We were driving away from the Berlin premiere of Casino Royale. I was in the back of the car with just me and Barbara. And I said to her, how many have I got to do of these things? Enthusiasm. She said 4, I think. I did 5 at the end. And she said, great, if I do 4, can I kill him off at the end? And she just went silent. She went, yep, okay. And she stuck to her word.
I lost a lot of respect from that, to be honest. And it even affected my viewing pleasure of his Bond movies. So it makes me wish sometimes that I didn't have access to this kind of information. I kind of would have liked to have lived in a little bit of a bubble on this one. And the reason is because I actually really like Daniel Craig a lot. I enjoy his movies, truly. But there is this small little hint of disdain for the character that does bleed into the performance now to me. And it did move him down in my Bond rankings. At number 4, Pierce Brosnan. Now, if I could pick the exact look for James Bond, this would be it. I mean, he was born for this role. He did an amazing job with it. His Bond movies are fun. They go all over the world. He has lots of wit and personality and charm and style. I will say this, at times the innuendo in the movies for Pierce Brosnan, well, they weren't even innuendo, to be honest. But I can honestly say, at this point, the rankings is about history with the actors and movies. That basically does affect my personal choices. I have a less history with Pierce Brosnan than I did with the next actors in the ranking, and that's very honestly the reason for the rest of my rankings. Because Pierce, he's amazing. I cannot find fault with his performance as Bond. He's a classy guy, and he never had any airs of any kind of disdain or dislike for playing the character or trying to distance himself from the character and shy away from it. He embraced it. So, at number 3 is Timothy Dalton. Now, for many years, Timothy was my favorite Bond, and if I had done this video maybe even 10 years ago, he would have been number 1. I love the serious Bond that he brings. And his acting, I mean, come on. Timothy Dalton's acting is top notch. You can tell that this is an amazingly trained and seasoned actor, even at the time when he was playing Bond. I would watch him in any role, anytime, any movie. Now, we only have 2 Dalton movies to bring into the ranking as well. The Living Daylights for years was also my favorite Bond movie, until Casino Royale came out. I even have a very personal story and connection to that movie. Yet, as I have grown older and have rewatched the movies as a whole, not just through moments in life, but really as a whole, I have realized more clearly my thinking on this. Again, nothing against Timothy. Amazing job as James Bond to me. I love him. And I don't have any negatives to point out. At number 2, oh my God, here go the rest of my viewers. Sean Connery.
Oh, Jesus. What do you weigh? God!
Yes, I know. He's the original. He is James Bond. Again, this is where my personal history with an actor, with the character, affects my ranking. I was just a little too young for Sean Connery to be my Bond. I enjoy and appreciate the original portrayal of Bond. He is the original. And I love all the Bond movies from Connery. But I just personally, I was born slightly little too late, and then also introduced to Bond at just a little too late in my life to change the ranking. And believe me, when I want to delve into an age prior to mine, I love watching Connery as Bond. He had all the right moves, he was suave, he was manly, he was stylish, witty, and physically the part as well. But there were some times he did voice a little bit of a disdain for the character, only in being trapped in the role and getting tired of being Bond, or just being associated with nothing but Bond. I do feel perhaps that did bleed a little bit into his acting, and I've heard others make comments about this as well, especially in Diamonds Are Forever. Personally, I never really saw it, but maybe low-key, that does distract from my enjoyment of his Bond just a little bit. I can't be certain, honestly. But again, it's the history. I don't have the history at the right time. Well, that leaves number 1, which is Roger Moore for me. Again, I used to think Timothy Dalton was my number 1, but I realized that when I was going back and rewatching Bond movies, and still do, I tend to go to the Roger Moore films. Roger Moore is also right in my time frame of being my first Bond. I was introduced to Bond around the time of A View to a Kill, and my actual first Bond movie, the full movie I ever saw, was For Your Eyes Only. Now, I loved his style, I loved his mannerisms, the humor and the way he carries himself. He could be super stressed out, but he always kept his cool and had a quick remark just waiting to be said. I also found him to be very relatable to me as well. I mean, there were movies that he was wearing a digital watch sometimes. I mean, that same as me. And as an actor, Roger embraced Bond. He would be Bond for a TV special, even a weather report on TV. There was never this feeling of him running away from the character, running away from fear of being typecasted. He embraced it, he enjoyed it while he had it. Now, he even mentioned that he could not recreate Connery's Bond. He had to play just his own style, and it worked so well. We all have our Bond, especially the first one we watched, the actor perhaps that was most relevant in our developmental years. Well, I came to realize that Moore was mine.
Mr.
Bond.
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 Bond. Bond. James. To my friends.
Well, that's it for my ranking of James Bond actors. I look forward to your choices in the comments. I'm sure I missed some of my reasonings that I have, but that's also the difficulty of doing these types of ranking videos. Honestly, there's no reason to insult my choices. Just go ahead and give me yours, and I promise you I will not insult you for them.